Are you happy with your current business? No, like, are you really happy with it? Like, you don't have any problems with it. All of it's good, right? Everything is going successfully. Everything's going well. You have no problems with anything. Oh, then you can click off this video. But if you wait till the end of this video, I'm going to give you my main tip that will help you improve the quality of your business and get things as much on the right track as possible. Step number 1, stop working on your business every minute of every day. This is going to be a controversial opinion for those of you that are within the hustle culture space. However, fundamentally, I believe, just kidding, backed by some science, there are many research studies and articles written about burnout. And while burnout might, once again, be a very controversial subject, I will sit here and tell you that without a shadow of a doubt, if you're working on something every minute of every day, it is most likely going to consume your entire identity. And the main reason that I argue against doing it every minute of every day is that if, for example, something negative happens regarding that business, the entirety of your identity being associated with something that goes wrong would crucially impact the way that you move forward upon that negative situation. So for example, say everything came crashing down for a week. I had an awful client week. I had an awful YouTube week. I had no sales of anything. I had barely any views, and I had a million hate comments. If all I did was rise productive, I would be miserable. And my ability to come back from that would be rough. However, by having things outside of the business, I am able to bounce back if there's a bad week. Now, one might argue, well, you're talking about how to make your business good. So if you always are having a good week, then you're going to be fine. It's a horse. There's no way that you can have an amazing week every single week of anything. I come from a background where I was a Division I athlete and was a pretty exceptional runner at the mile and the 800 relative to the rest of the world. I had my bad weeks. I had my bad workouts. When I actually reached my lowest point of running was when I was completely associated to the thing, and then I had an injury that made me unable to run. My very, very core was ruined by the fact that I was injured. And then later in my career, when I was like 75, 80% focused on it, and then I had 20% outside of that, guess what? When I had a bad workout, when I got a little injured, did I focus on it to fix it? Yeah. Did it ruin my life? No. And that's the key difference. I was able to bounce back better because I didn't think I was completely ruined by the injury. I actually took things at face value a little bit more and was able to handle it better mentally, which then allowed me to come back and do better in my running. And in this circumstance, you do better and will make better decisions that aren't so brash if you're having a minor pitfall week, because it's your everything. Number 2, learn to listen more than you think you need to. This is once again something that I definitely need to do better at, as I'm somebody who makes a lot of content and generally speaking believes that I can just say stuff and, a decent amount of what I say is right. All of that actually comes from the fact that I am a connoisseur of content, right? I watch a lot of content, I read a lot of content, I listen to a lot of content. And yeah, some of the stuff's regurgitated, but it's practiced and then regurgitated. But in order for me to improve, I need to believe that what other people are telling me is important. And you learning from other people, you reading books, you listening to podcasts, and you focusing on your self-improvement is actually going to be so important in your step-by-step process towards being a better entrepreneur. So listen more than you think you need to. Don't assume that you know everything, because if you do, then, you're going to be in trouble. Because why would you take something at face value and think that you know the answer to the question always, when you could read a book, listen to a podcast, consult with somebody, or have a mentor that teaches you about how to avoid a mistake you weren't aware that you could make? And that'll actually help you not make as many mistakes in your path, and you can kind of learn from other people's mistakes before you make them yourself. And number 3, focus on value over profit. Something that is very important to understand is that if you want to make a lot of money doing something, there's this thing called the law of reciprocation. If you give someone so much value that they feel like they're almost stealing from you because it's free, they're going to give it back to you. That's why I make so much content. That's why I make so many free templates. And that's why I talk about the things I talk about. It's because I know these things have helped me increase my life through listening to the free content other people have given me, reading books, and then through the practices that I've had with different softwares and stuff, I can give out a lot of free advice on those different things. And then I'm able to give it out to my customer avatar And that person will eventually feel like, oh man, this guy gave me a lot of good info. I think I might give this guy a little bit something in return. I talk about that a lot on this channel, but I do believe it is one of the most underrated ways that you can improve your business. Do not focus on the profit. Do not focus on the bottom line, because that often won't help you win the long-term game. If you want to learn more about the long-term game or the infinite game, you can find that video on this channel coming soon as well. You can also check out videos on how to improve your business and productivity right here.